So remember when we first started working together and I would do those interviews and I would just type up notes? I don't have to do that anymore at all.
No, that's how far the technology's come in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, almost there.
The other thing is all the content I'm producing, I'm asking it now knows Andrew and Grant Eckstrom in relationship to Succurri. And I'm now asking it to say, what would Grant and Andrew say about this?
That's pretty cool.
It is freaking wicked cool, man.
All right, I'm going to present. Okay, so this is our cloud file system. It's called Ignite. What I really like about this platform, so think about like this is company data, and we're still in the really infancy stages of using this platform, but there are some really key fundamental parts to it. So you can see this little AI symbol up here on this. So this whole folder has been indexed by AI. Not every other folder has, but I do have some other ones in here. My training, for example. So my SOP for my professional services has been indexed by AI. So I can go in here, and so here's my professional services wiki. So I can go in here. So it's going like, what can I do for you? It's giving me all these little prompts.
Oh, dude. Is this a Microsoft thing or is it a separate product?
No, it's a separate product. All right. So since I'm in professional services, I can say, we've dumped all of our how-tos in our migrations. So all of our SOP for how to do our processes are here. So like,
dude, you're about ready to unlock the beast, man. This is insane.
I'll give it a moment here.
So what did you type in? What did you ask it?
How do I migrate Autodesk?
All right.
So this is now it's giving me the different things to understand, the types of things. These are like the little notes. Hey, this is how you do it. These are the tools to do it. And then it also has the document. So I scroll down here, steps for migration, post-migration,
Well,
here's the
what is
actual
the name of the tool?
It's called Ignite.
And it's EG?
EGNYT. And it's a cloud file system, right? So some people use SharePoint, some people use Google Docs, things like that. We're using Ignite because I find it to be more of a true, like it's a server replacement. What's really awesome though, is that all of my company data, like I said, I used it for professional services because I was like, I know we have all the instructions on how to do all of these migrations because we've documented all of it. And so I just went through and allowed it to index. So here's literally all the steps and all the post-migration and things to consider, and talking about dealing with the ref paths, which are the references to documents. I mean, it's pretty, and it brings in all the documents that are part of this, including videos. So that's just one of them, right? So I also did our cybersecurity platform. So
access to information.
So here I'm like, what is Succurri's view on CMMC? So we'll give it a moment, and it'll pop up all of our information about CMMC.
And that's Gemini that it's using?
I don't know what the LLM is on the backside, but yeah, so here you go. So Succurri is committed to achieving cybersecurity module 3, level 3, aligning with requirements outlined in NIST. Goes through here, and here are the documents that it's referencing. But yeah, I'm like, so this is this takes no programming whatsoever. As long as you have the information, you're able to take company information, and I can like all the different version. So I can go in here and create a new knowledge base.
Right.
I select, let's go here. We'll say there's nothing in here in management, but we'll say it's like,
so
customers. Right.
I looked up and I asked, does NAN have a native integration with Ignite? It says, so this was Google. So what's Google's LLM, Gemini? It came back and said, no, it doesn't, but here's how you integrate it.
Because there's an API. Yeah, there's an API. Yeah. So here I kind of fill out like the different, what I want the icon to look like.
Right. So is this an internal tool you're leveraging for when, like, if you have engineers that need to get information like this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about how many companies out there that, maybe have documents that are, like we have a whole web page called Bookstack, and it has every process and procedure on how to do things, from the help desk to how to manage systems, how to deploy systems, things like that. The issue is it's all static, right? You have to kind of know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to bring just normal Word documents, Excel, PDFs, and bring them to life using this AI. And so the reason why I wanted to show you this was I'm like, this is beginner step AI.
Yeah.
And I thought this would be a good thing to show. And I could build out some more databases too. Before our webinar, but talking about like, hey, these are some simple steps. These are things that you can have obtainable in hours. And then we talk about what you were showing with the diagram and saying, okay, now this is where you start getting the level of sophistication, because like, not everybody's going to go all in on like, hey, I need to build something that scrapes the internet to build, to grab me a leads list. But some people might just be like, are you serious? I can have my SOP easily accessible for anybody to ask any kind of questions it wants, and then pops it out.
And by the way, it's not like you turn on AI and it just does its thing. I hesitate to use the word program, but
you have to teach it.
You have to teach it what to do. You have to make sure it's connected to the right thing. You have to pump it full of information.
Yeah. So in this case, I told it I need this to be a knowledge base based on instructions. And so it knew that this was going to be a knowledge base for teaching. And so you can see like it's got the little graduate little icon there.
Right.
And it's like, see, it says training. So like it knows that that's what it's supposed to be for. Where this one, it knows that it's supposed to be a cybersecurity for corporate documentation.
When you think of these things, we have to put it in terms of, there's all this whiz bang cool stuff that it can do or that you can do with it. But why? Why are you doing this? So think about, this is like going off the deep end maybe, but I was thinking to myself, everybody gets a ton of prospecting communication. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. We have this service. We have this product. You have this, you get bombarded with that. And most people are saying, spam, junk. I don't even see it. And I thought to myself, if you had an AI agent that consumed that data and said, and classified it and qualified it and summarized it and said, you had this many requests for people that said they can generate leads. You had this many requests for people that said you can handle IT. You have this many requests. If you took that agent that grabbed that information and plugged it into an agent that knew what you were trying to do with your business, you could have a little agent that qualified all that information that was coming to you and only gave you the ones that you absolutely wanted to talk to. Now, that's sophisticated next level AI, but that isn't that hard.
No, and I think even more along the lines of, in your concept, I like your concept, but to the point of, I need this, right? And so you're able to type in, and it probably already does, like there's probably something that already does it now, but like, I need to have a new IT company that supports this type of business. And then it goes out and looks at IT companies in your area that qualify for whatever it's looking for. It looks at all your 5-star reviews. It looks at posts. It looks at recommendations, partnerships, things like that.
Yeah.
And it spits back and says, these are people that we'd probably recommend based on the highest level criteria. So, kind of to the same concept of, I need to be able to do this. And it does all the hard research for you.
And think about what you're doing when you grow a business or scale a business. You're really kind of scraping around in the dark with the people you're working with, trying to build the next thing that you need, right?
Yeah.
And what is that next thing? Well, maybe the next thing is evaluating all the junk we get sent our way or we think is junk. Maybe the next thing is based on the fact that we need a new IT service provider because, the one we currently have is, not able to support what we're trying to do, or they don't.
Or slow to respond. I'm like, these are the reasons why we want to make a move, and then AI is able to go find out companies that are really well known for fast responses and high marks, high praises from reviews,
or we have that put together. But we've grown to a place where there's all this information all over our internal documentation, and we need it organized. And getting it organized helps us be faster. It just depends on what you're trying to build. And the funny thing is, once you get this stuff built, it's AI remembers all this stuff. It doesn't forget it.
Right.
That I think is probably the most amazing part. Because really, to scale a business, you like bring it back to SOPs. To scale a business, everybody has to know what the play is and what to run when this certain situation occurs. New employee, we need a new employee. Okay, recruiting, evaluating, interviewing. Okay, we found, maybe testing. We found somebody. Okay, great. Now you got to go through the whole setup of all that.
Well, you think like, I mean, even something like this where you have like spending time having to go through resumes, right? So you have a folder in the system like this that you just dump all of your resumes into. And yeah, I mean, you've got some of your Zip recruiters and things like that are going to help filter it, but you're still getting hundreds of resumes potentially. And so you just take all of them, dump it in here, let AI do it and saying, hey, I need people with this.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be able to go through and pull all those out. So yeah, I mean, like this one is definitely for internal documentation or internal information. It's not designed for searching out on the web necessarily, but
yeah, it's not like, I mean, it's not big of a stretch. I don't know if we want to go down this road, but it's not that big of a stretch to have a support agent that's tied into all of this, that when someone calls or enters in a request, the thing that I think is a good thing is you're always going to need smart hands.
Yeah.
It's not all going to be digital with tech. There's still going to be physical tech that needs to be. It's the same with like businesses that are, cleaning gutters and putting on roofs. AI is probably not going to take over that anytime soon. 10 years? We'll start to see.
get some new drone installed roofs.
Yeah, get some. Well, they'll have a friggin' robot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know why I've been geeking out on it so much, but there's this whole process they go through with physical AI. It's like first you create a digital twin, which means you have a person hooked to a machine that does the work, and then the robot AI watches. Then you have a digital cousin, which is a digitally produced replica of all the motion that teaches the digital twin. So now you can learn exponentially faster. And then after that, it's a digital nomad, which is like autonomous AI with a robot. They're doing it. They're doing it. So it's like you'll have and they're promoting it, and it's like, oh yeah. I bet 10 years you'll have house robots. Wouldn't shock me at all.
They already have them.
I mean, that work, that are like, it's like buying a new car. Remember the first time you bought a new car and you're like, oh my God, new car. Everybody, oh, you got a new car? Like it was this, like you bought a spaceship,
Yeah, right now, like the one that there's like one that does the dishes and does like can do some cooking and things like that. They want like $175,000 for it or something like that. Like, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's probably fairly cheap for what they've put into it. But I mean, having somebody do the dishes for $175,000, I'm like, that's a lot of dishes, but you get the idea. It's coming.
Anyway, so sorry, I went off on a tangent there. It's one of those things I was like, I want to live long enough to see some of this weird shit that's going on.
It's coming.
So internal documentation, I like that. So that's a really good foundational one. Automating process, which is kind of where I went.
Yep.
Now we've got a giveaway. That's a set of AirPods. Let me see. Do we have anyone registered yet? Let's see. Zoom. By the way, some of this AI makes Siri look stupid. I'll ask Siri questions and she doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about.
Like, what?
She give me an answer like completely like, no, that's not what I asked. That's not what I asked. Or you should know.
And Apple's actually really been struggling. So their new version is actually using Chat GTP. I don't know if you're on your new iPhone, but the latest update, like if you don't ask Siri, it says, do you want to use Chat GTP? So instead of saying like, hey Siri, you hold on the button and you just start talking versus saying, hey Siri, and it'll say, do you want to use Chat GTP for this?
How do you hook that up?
It just started happening on my phone. I just happened to notice it because I didn't say, hey Siri.
Oh, software update available. iOS 18.5. Which one are you on? What are you on?
Yeah, it's probably that one.
Update introduce new emojis. Who gives a shoot? A new sketch style and an image playground.
I'm 18.4.1.
Yeah. What am I? Where's that at?
What version of phone? What version of iPhone are you on?
16, I think.
Yeah. So you should be fine.
Where do I find out which version?
Go to settings.
Yeah.
And then general. And then about.
Settings. About. Yeah, I'm on 18.1.1. Oh, iPhone 15 Plus is what I have.
I'm a 15 Plus. I'm a Pro Max.
So you're the ones. So I bought the Pros for Susan and Grayson, and I took the 15.
That may be why you don't have it.
Yeah,
because whatever the 16's getting now, I'm still able to get on the Pro. But yeah, so like basically, I just hold down the button, and if I don't say Siri, it'll pop up and say, "Do you want to use this search with Chat GTP?" And I'm like, okay. Sure. 6
registrants. And so Emerald Communities, Corey Weisner, Sol Terasi. No, what the heck is that? Ashley Crane.
Share the screen real quick.
Oh, sorry.
So Bo is a client. Alex is a center of influence. Merle is actually the engineering company that I am talking with on Friday.
Interesting.
Jeanette Scott, don't know who that is.
What's kcba.org?
They keep on attending these. The King County Bar Association, like they've been attending a lot of these.
That's funny. Who over there should we talk to? Just go, we've noticed you've attended a ton, Jeanette. What are you guys wanting? Oh, this could be an interesting one.
Go to about, contact us. Let's see where they're at.
Yeah.
Looks like Arizona, maybe. It doesn't say.
Usually.
There you go, Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, IT, Emerald Communities, same. Huh? Retirement homes.
That one's in Redmond.
Redmond.
Okay. All right.
Bad boss. I don't know if I could find the X. Okay. So if we think about those, the internal stuff is great.
Yeah.
I think I won't focus necessarily on the lead gen part of it, but just the different departments automating tasks. Let's start small.
Yeah. Start small.
Start
And I
small
think-
and specific.
Yeah, I mean, and the lead gen is relevant, right? Because everybody needs, like Bo on there, for example, they deal with lead gen. They're dealing with their insurance, right? And so they're out there trying to generate new insurance clients for benefits. So I mean, there is some value to that. Not necessarily, I'd say we wouldn't want to necessarily focus on it too much, but I think that there's, understanding that, like, when you get really serious and get further down the path, then you can start integrating the systems. And this is kind of how, once you have your framework and your process laid out, that's when you can start connecting the dots.
Yeah. Well, definitely B2C. Like if you're taking inbound calls, answering questions and filtering out spam.
Yeah.
AI could totally handle it. Voice AI could handle that without a problem. I mean, just that thing alone, filtering out spam.
Yeah.
And what is spam, And I think a lot of us throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's why no one answers their phone.
Yeah. See, I come from the mindset that if you don't pick up your phone, you won't get the business because somebody will move to the next business that's making the phone call.
Totally. Yeah. So anyway, and we can talk about this on Tuesday. We've got a practice session.
Cool. Well, yeah. Probably, I mean, if you have something, some of the slides or some of the concepts that we can talk about maybe tomorrow. Actually, Andrew's out tomorrow as well. So we'll cover it on Tuesday.
Okay. So you and I can hang out a little bit afterwards and go through them.
Okay.
I'll get something ready that we can talk through. Just the framework. I've got the agenda, but it's just the framework. Oh, the giveaway is the iPods.
Yep.
I don't know if Andrew reached out to anybody. I doubt it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you want to handle that, but
yeah, good question. I'll think about it. So I have the Wheel of Names software where I just put their names on there and it randomly selects it.
Yeah.
So that one's a good option.
Should we do it? Should we do it live?
We could. I mean, you have to add the names to the list. So I prefer probably not, because it takes a little bit you have to go through and add the names, and you want to make sure that the people have attended and
got it.
It is kind of nicer to have I would like to be able to talk to this person specifically versus giving away a pair of AirPods to potentially already having a client.
Right. I got you. Yeah. That's it for me. Yeah.
Cool.
I can't wait to get some of these case studies out. The other thing we'll talk about tomorrow with Sarah is we're finally ready to go down a road that lets us produce some real specific content. And what I mean by that is right now we have industry solutions, we have services, and we have city pages. But what you want to do is create a network that combine all three on one page. So this service for this industry in this city, that's all on one page.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's kind of our next way to go. And because we know security and AI are getting play, we probably start with those types of services.
Right. Yeah.
And or projects, because we know we'll always do projects here and there. IT projects are like doing a website project for a marketing company. It has a start and an end, but then you get to know, who you're dealing with. And then it's like, well, what do you want ongoing? Oh, you do? Okay, sweet. That'll be us.
Yeah. Yeah. Or migration projects, things like that.
Yeah. So maybe we can talk about that with Sarah, but hopefully she is going through a bunch of content that she's just launched. is what I'm
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm definitely interested to see what the analytics are for SEO and how we're doing on those. So
I'll ping her. She said she just gave me some anecdotal, like all the signals are still going up. So
it's good.
that's good. All right.
Cool.
Talk to you later. Have a good one.
Oh, hey, just on a side note, so my neighbor that I grew up with across the street, he doesn't live here anymore, but so he was in town weekend before. Anyways, for his father's celebration of life, his mom still lives across the street from me. Anyways, he works at Google in the sales department.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things we were talking about, I'm like, hey, like, because and he's in like ad sales, like pay-per-click type stuff.
Yeah.
And Andrew and I we had him kind of corner. We're like, hey, we want to know, like, yeah, exactly. And he said, hey, he's like, I'm more than happy to work with you guys and figure out, what's the best, because obviously he's going to have an understanding of the inner workings of what it's doing. So I was like, I'm not necessarily want to do any pay-per-click, but we do have a resource in Google in that department. So
for paid specifically.
Well, he's been there for a long time. He was over at Google, then he went to Pinterest, and now he's back at Google. So I think he's pretty well involved over there.
Yeah. Let's get him on a call.
Yeah. So
let's get him on a call. Maybe they'll start leaving. It's so funny because you have people that work for those big enterprises and they just can't leave.
Yeah.
Because they pay them too much goddamn money.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do this, and this for me? Well, I don't want to talk to you.
Right. So at bare minimum, he'll be able to at least kind of point, if we wanted to do Google stuff, that he would be at least, I'd feel comfortable with whatever he wanted to set us up with.
Yeah. Well, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
However, cool. Set it up. I don't know.
Yep.
Or if you want me to set it up, I'll set it up.
No, I'll text him and just like, hey, when you get an opportunity, I'd love to pick your brain on Google.
That's good. Yeah. And so big, he'll probably know departmental stuff. Well, it depends on his role.
Yeah.
Depends on his role. All right, cool. Good find.
Yeah. All righty.
All right.
I'll let you out
Later.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.